Well, focusing on construction. Well, that was part of the House Committee on Treaties, investigating some of those agreements we've signed with China, the loans to construct some of the infrastructure in the country. And this is raising a lot of questions concerning if this is costing us this much, if questions about integrity, if questions about sovereignty, if questions of huge resources going to those countries and the consequences attached to those documents or those agreements, many then wonder. So, where are Nigerian engineers? Why are they not featuring? What is the problem? That's where we'll start off. What's going on?
Chamberlain, thank you very much for this question, because I was itching to attack this kind of questions for a very long time, and in any fora I found myself where I have to discuss these issues, I say it, and I say it very loudly. Engineering and development are two things that are tied together for time immemorial. And engineers and development are also things that are tied together for time immemorial. And you don't, I repeat, you don't develop anywhere, I use the word anywhere, based on foreign sources or foreign resources. Places are developed by their indigenes, and these are done deliberately. I use the word deliberately here very carefully. You don't develop engineering just, e.g., I want to make road from here to Ibadan. You better come and do it. No. It's not done like this. You have engineers. You have workers in your country. You have your own professionals. They need to lead. And these are done deliberately. Government should do this deliberately. You need to grow the... Now, why is it only Julius Baja or Tractor or are the only construction companies? Why? Because we deliberately, I use the word deliberately here, deliberately refuse to grow.
But you know, there are some who have said that. Some argue saying they tried some local contractors previously, but the quality of work that they delivered wasn't good enough. They don't have the capacity to deliver to such extent, hence the reason why they had to look elsewhere.
I don't want to argue on this axis, but the argument I'm going to put through is, you may be thinking there is a little lack of technical know-how, which is okay, but that does not mean you cannot partner with foreigners to do this job. Dubai is not built by people from Dubai, right? But as I'm talking to you, whatever company you are bringing in Dubai, that company should be led by an indigenous company. It's led by an indigenous company. What is the sense in it? What is the sense in this? They have made provision for work for everybody in their country. And their thinking is, after finishing the work and you left, they will take over the maintenance. Now look at it. Let's look at it from this perspective now. Railway. Railway was not built by Nigerians, right? 60s, only few Nigerians. They came, designed, and dropped. People work with them. There are a lot of trainings that came in and out. When they left, for many years they left, who are running railways? Nigerians. Evolving. It should be a continuous process. Then we are not there. Now we are there. So what is the next step? Then when the contract we are put in place, we are not there. Now we are there. So to put in the contract, we must be there.
No,
we have to be there.
As you said earlier, this process is age-long.
Yeah.
And Chamberlain has just given one of the reasons that may have been adduced.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the NSE has been very concerned over the years. Yeah. What are the reasons that you have been able to find? Because I want to believe that you've taken this up at certain fora. What were the findings? What are the reasons adduced to why Nigerian local engineers
or construction companies are not.
Most of them are interest. Most of them are interest.
Whose interests?
The political leaders, those in government, it's about interest. Nothing more than that. Because you cannot tell me. Let me just digress a little bit so that we are all on the same page. I would do apology to His Excellency Ababio when he was facing this NDDC case. He said, every director project was a medical director, was kept there. And his thinking was, I want to believe he was misquoted, that his thinking was, when he had looked at the budget, most of the things that they are buying that place were medical equipment. So they put the director project, a medical officer. Do you need an engineer or do you need Chamberlain to tell somebody a director should be an engineer? Do you need that? Do you need it? If we are all working for our country, do you need somebody to tell you this is what it should be? Do you need it? And that also made me to start reading the acts establishing some of these agencies. I went and checked the act that established FEMA. You know FEMA? Federal Road Agency, Maintenance Agency. The MD of FEMA is any business with high managerial skill. A Nigerian high managerial skill. Thereabout. But the secretary of that commission or agency should be a lawyer of 10 to 15 years standing. Do you need me as president of NSE to come and tell you the managing director of Federal Road Maintenance Agency, their key work is a road making and maintenance, to be an engineer? Not only an engineer, it should even be a civil engineer. It should be a civil and structural engineer.
So you have a problem with, you find that we have some problems with the laws.
Thank you. So how did you pass things like this? How can it work? How? Tell me. Do I need to shout it? Or do you need to shout it?
You know, in different climes, there are different things that they do to develop local engineers. Some of them, there are different mechanisms and methods. But I'm just wondering, now that this is an age-long problem, it didn't just start now. I mean, several ministers of works have been asked several questions concerning this, and some of them give their reasons. But has the NSE thought it wise to perhaps recently approach, be it state government or House of National Assembly, and make a case and suggest that, listen, some of these things going on, we can't keep going on this way. We think we can play certain roles here, there, and there. Has NSE thought about that?
Of course. Thank you very much, Chamberlain. Because, as you rightly mentioned, these are things that have come, we have come with it for a very long time. Do we allow it to continue? No. That's why I'm saying it here now. Ordinarily, we will not be looking down at the act establishing all these agencies. We will not be looking at it. But now, it has become a tax on us to look at all these things so that we are now aggregating positions. We'll approach the leadership of the National Assembly. Please, get these things corrected. Get this corrected. We don't want to apportion blame to anybody. Because if we are to blame, it should be all of us. We are all Nigerians. This is our country. So the blame should be for all of us.
Okay.
But since we have now seen some of these things, so we are now bringing it, we are aggregating it, and we are approaching the leadership very soon. We had some engagement with them last year. We called some of our engineers in that house for a dinner. We had a dinner, and we told them A, B, C, D are not correct. Please go back and look at the books and see how we can correct it and work together. So
this is a matter of concern. I know that there are some states in the country at the moment, when they give out contracts to be it the Chinese company serving Julius Berger, they insist that they must have with them a certain percentage of local engineers who they have to train. So perhaps when he talks about the leadership, I think that's where that comes in.
You should shift away from giving me some numbers to train, giving some number of Nigerian engineers to be trained. We should shift away from that. The best thing is, when the contracts are conceived, let there be Nigerian engineers. In fact, I would have preferred, to be very honest, let there be input from NSE. You know why I'm using NSE? NSE is a non-governmental organization. You get independent opinion. You get independent opinion. We don't receive funds from government. We are independent. So we can give you an independent judgment of what it is. Look at this example now. Siemens is coming to Nigeria on this power issue. We have this power issue lingering for too long. All of us are not happy because I am also a Nigerian. You are a Nigerian. And every other person. There's no light in Nigeria, there's no light. We are not happy. Siemens are coming in. The administration of Buhari thought Siemens should come in. Fine. So be it. But we have started looking at how it is. We have started identifying some gaps. Ours is not to sit down and criticize. Ours is to see how we can fill in those gaps. Because if Siemens came in here and do some work and get this light sorted out, it's going to be for Nigerians and Nigerians.
Okay, so back to your question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Siemens is coming in.
Yeah.
Just as these 5 Chinese companies
Yeah.
have come in to
Yeah.
bid for this 4th mainland bridge and other projects like that.
Yeah.
You know, is it that Nigerian construction engineering companies do not bid for these jobs? Why do we have only foreigners for such a critical national project?
One, I have to be too technical here. 2 issues may arise. Technical know-how is key. But that's why I kept saying, you develop your companies deliberately. These things should be bidded and given to Nigerian companies. Let them look for foreign partners to work with under their supervision. That's how it works. Nobody will come in here and develop Nigeria more than Nigerians. Nobody. Anybody who is coming here is coming with, on 2 premises. One is, I just have to go and make my money. That is key. But even if you say Nigeria are going to make money, they are going to make the money in their country and they will use the money in their country. That's a better option. That's a better option.
Okay. Now, let me also ask you this one. You talked about, provision of jobs and all of that, which is one of the things that the president has said over the years, pulling Nigerians out of poverty as much as possible.
Yeah.
What is the potential of job creation for Nigerians if engineering companies in Nigeria take the lead on this project?
I'm telling you, the potential is very high. Let me give you a scenario that is happening right away. I am aggregating for this COVID-19 a lot of hand-washing machines of different designs made by Nigerians. It has never happened before. Some are solar, run, some are pneumatics, some are manually done, of so many varieties. Some are run. And I am getting excited. In fact, let me also announce ventilator. You know ventilator? That word that you are saying COVID-19 ventilator. COVID-19 is very similar with ventilators. I have Nigerian engineers who have at the very final stage of manufacturing ventilators. And ordinary ventilators are for one person. But the one that is done in Nigeria today, that's one that I reviewed last 2 weeks and passed it to higher authority for more review. Is for one ventilator for 8 people that will serve 8 people a ventilator.
What's the value chain of employment for Nigerians on a construction site? If a Nigerian company owns this, gets this construction, compared to if a foreign company gets it?
The value chain is too long. It's too long. In fact, it's too long. That's why construction is key, because construction provides a lot of employment from manufacture of material along the chain up to even the design work. Design work has a lot of work to do. I came from a design company. I work for a design company, Netco. Netco is a fully Nigerian company. We do design for the oil and gas. That will also now tell you, oil and gas. We see platforms in the water standing, and we are producing crude oil. But today, these things are designed in Nigeria. That's excellent.
As that's part of the local content.
Part of the local engagement. It took a time for us to come to where we are. But today, NETCO designs almost everything. We design almost everything.
All right, so it's something that the country will hope that they attack this headlong and get a solution to this. So thank you for coming on, and we wish you all the best. That's Babagana Mohammed, who is the president, Nigeria Society of Engineers.